and mod oiber, a way of working equals methodology. And Gaelach. The cúpla focal in Irish, which most people who are educated in Ireland, 26 counties, know, appears to satisfy their sense of identity as to what it means to be Irish. The thought processes which lead people to choose one form of expression over another within a language are completely lost on those who accept the translation of accepted English obfuscation into Irish expression and prevents any discussion of the intended meaning of phrases, which were generated in the first place through the Irish language. Here are some widely used Irish expressions which are used in English without any thought as to the original intention of the word or phrase. Heir equals one given a duty of care equals minister, also heiricht equals all those with a duty of care equals cabinet. Bunreaćt equals basic rules equals constitution. Sinn Cumhail equals head of council, equivalent to the Speaker of the British lower house. Céileadach equals temporary equals used to translate provisional, but can also mean mutable under regular or exceptional conditions. Dáil equals meeting or convention, generally called the Dáil. Gaul equals not Gaelic, translates as English, but Gael or Gaul has the same distinguishing function as Jew or Gentile or Greek, barbarian. The use of Sarastat, a free state, not the Irish Free State as presently understood, means just that, a free state, and not a state limited in its decision-making processes through the influence either malign or benign of another. I use free state throughout for Sarastat. Each, minister, is a masculine noun and as such, is governed by the pronouns se and e. I write s, he so that the accusation of misogyny in the language cannot be countered. The person speaking the words in the minutes is given in capitals at the beginning of his or her contribution. Occasionally English parliamentary clichés are explained with reference to the Irish original by giving the basic meaning in brackets after the English cliché, and sometimes the Irish original is followed the same way by the common English expression. Minutes of Dáil éireann. I have not translated the cover. The names of people may still need clarification, due to my lack of knowledge of the players, but the constituency place names should hold good. In the first and final columns in the list of attendees, the county or reason for absence follows from whatever is written above. 3. The roll. Head of Council E. I will now read the names of the people who received an invitation to the convention. Those who are in attendance should answer to their names, and for anyone who is not here, we will receive an explanation of it from our clerical staff. Co-Antrim, East, Lt Col McCarmont absent. Central, My H. O'Neill. North, My P. Kerr Smiley. South, J. R. Lonsdale. Co-Armagh, Central, My H. O'Neill. North, Lt Col A. Allen. South, S. O. Donghale, J. Donnelly. Co-Derry, North, Dr. H. Anderson. South, Dennis Henry. Co-Donegal, West, E. J. Kelly. Co-Down, East, D. D. Reid. Central, Colsa J. Craig. North, T. W. Brown. South, Jeremiah McVeigh. West, D. M. Wilson. Co-Fermanagh, North, E. M. Archdale. Belfast, Cromac, W. A. Lindsay. Duncairn, E. Carson. Falls, Joseph Devlin. Ormeau, Thomas Moles. Pottinger, Captain H. Dixon. Sharnkill, S. MacGuffin. St. Anne's, T. H. Brown. Victoria, T. Donald. Woodvale, R. J. Lynn. QUB, Mr. Whitlaw. Tyrone, Northeast, T. J. S. Harbison. Northwest, Art O'Griofa, Arthur Griffith, imprisoned by the English. South, Mr. Coote absent. Waterford City Captain W. Redmond. Dublin, University, A. Samuels. University, Dr. R. Woods. Rathmines, Sir M. Dockrell. University, Owen MacNeil attending. Pembroke, D. MacGearailt, Desmond Fitzgerald, imprisoned by the English. St. James, S. MacCraith, Joseph McGrath. Meath, South, E. O. Dubgain, Edward Duggan, attending. North, L. O'Maliosa, L. Mellows, exiled by the English. Carlo S. O'Lionane, imprisoned by the English. Cavan, East, Art O'Griofer *. West, P. O'Gallaghan, Paul Gallaghan. Clare, East, Aim under Valera *, E. de Valera. West, Brian O'Huigan, B. Higgins. Dublin, Clontarf, R. O. Malchatha, D. Mulcahy, attending. College GN, S. T. O. Seeley, Sean T. O'Kelly. Connemara, P. O'Mail, P. O'Malley. Cork, City, S. S. Brefnage, J. J. Walsh. City, Liam de Royst, W. Roach. Absent. Cork, North, P. O'Keefe, P. O'Keefe O'Keefe. Imprisoned by the English. East, Decent, D. Kent, absent. Central, T. Mac Swibner, T. McSweeney, imprisoned by the English. Northeast, T. O. Fiacre, T. Efiri Hunt. South, M. O'Coilian, M. Collins, absent. West, S. O. H. Aoda, S. Hayes, attending. Southeast, D. O. Loingside, D. Lynch, exiled by the English. Derry, City, Owen MacNeil * attending. Donegal, North, S. O. Doherty, J. Doherty. South, P. Macon Baird, P. Ward. West, S. Mac Swibner, J. Sweeney. Co-Dublin, North, P. O. Loudlace, F. Lawless, imprisoned by the English. South, S. Gabhan Ui Dubthay, C. Gavin Duffy, attending. Fermanagh, South, S. O. Mathgamna, J. Mahoney, imprisoned by the English. Galway, West, L. O. Maliosa * L. Mellows, exiled. North, Dr. Siasorg, Dr. Cusick, imprisoned by the English. South, P. O. Fathay, F. Fahey. Dublin, Bay, P. O. Shanachane, Philip Shanahan, attending. Kerry, East, P. Beasley, P. Beasley. North, Drive S. O. Cruadlarich, Dr. Crowley, imprisoned by the English. South, F. O. Loingside, F. Lynch. West, A. Destaic, Austin Stack. Kildare, North, D. O. Boachalla, D. Buckley, attending. South, A. O. Conchabert, imprisoned by the English. Kilkenny, North, L. Mac Cosgare, W. Cosgrove. South, S. O. Migra, S. Amara, absent. Waterford, Cathal Brewer, attending. Westmeath, L. Mac Fyonghale, L. Janelle. Imprisoned by the English. Wexford, North, Roger Sweetman, attending. South, Drive S. O. Riane, Dr. Ryan. Leitrim, S. O. Dolane, J. Dolan, imprisoned by the English. Limerick, East, Dr. R. O. H. Aoda, Dr. Hayes. West, C. O. Coilian, C. Collins, attending. City, M. P. Colivet, imprisoned by the English. Longford, S. Macaong Hooser, J. McGuinness. Louth, S. O. Seeley, J. Kelly, attending. Mayo, East, E. de Valera * imprisoned by the English. North, Dr. O. Cruadlarich, Dr. Crowley, attending. South, Liam Sears, imprisoned by the English. West, S. MacGiola Bride, J. McBride. Monaghan, North, Ernan de Blaghade, Ernest Blythe. South, S. McEntee, S. McEntee. Roscommon, North, S. Pluinsed, Count Plunkett, attending. South, A. O. Beolane, H. Boland, absent. Sligo, North, S. S. MacFlanchada, J. J. Clancy, imprisoned by the English. South, A. MacCabba, A. McCabe. Tipperary, North, S. MacDonchada, J. McDonough. East, P. McCanna, P. McCann. Central, S. de Burke, J. Burke, attending. South, P. O. May Oldhamney, P. Muldowney. Wicklow, West, R. Barton. East, S. Etchingham, imprisoned by the English. Offaly, Dr. P. McCartain, exiled by the English. Lowes, C. O. Huygen, K. O. Higgins, attending. Dublin, St. Mickens, M. McStain, M. Staines. Stevens, G. N., T. O. Seeley. St. Patrick's, Countess Markievicz imprisoned by the English. Head of Council, you notice that many of the people named are not here. They received an invitation to be present so that the English could be expelled, and they did not accept that invitation. As Wolfe Tone said, if there are people in Ireland who do not want to work for the good of Ireland, then it must be done without them. And it will be done. There were many others whose names were read and the answer came back that they are imprisoned by the English. You know that the English have taken them and put them in prison without making any charge against them. And the heroes responsible for this, they are the ones who proclaimed before the world that it was they who were the friends of small nations. And it is in prison in England that the bravest and most courageous woman born in any country is to be found, i.e. Countess Markievicz. I will now read for you. For the basic rules for the Convention of Ireland. The first article. Dáil éireann will have full power to make laws, and the convention will consist of spokespersons elected by the people of Ireland in the constituencies that exist in Ireland, at present. The second article. 1. Those who have a ministerial function for a term, éireacht, will have full executive power during that term. 2. The cabinet will consist of the First Minister, elected by Dáil éireann, and 4 other ministers, i.e. Minister for Finance, Home Affairs, Foreign Affairs, Defence. The First Minister will nominate the 4 other ministers and he will have the power to remove their executive power. 3. It is a requirement for a minister to be a T-actor dala, elected representative, and s. He will always be answerable to the Dáil Convention. For the names of the ministers must be put before the Convention for ratification at its first meeting, after they have been nominated by the First Minister. 5. The First Minister will function as such as soon as s. He is elected, and the other ministers will also function as such as soon as the Convention ratifies their nominations. 6. The Dáil can remove a ministry, or any one of the ministers from its function by a majority of votes if notice of motion in writing is given to that effect, 7 days beforehand. The third article. A Sinn Cumhail, Speaker, elected by the Dáil for 1 year, or Sinn Ionad, Deputy Speaker, elected for 1 year if Sinn Cumhail is not in attendance, will be in charge of each meeting of the Dáil. These positions can only be filled by elected representatives to the Convention. Teachtai Dala, if Sinn Cumhail and Sinn Ionad are absent, the Dáil will authorise substitutes or will elect a temporary, provisional, Sinn Cumhail. The fourth article. A minister will get the money he needs as a result of a vote in the Dáil. The minister will be answerable to the Dáil for the money he receives in this way, and he will present audited, detailed accounts on how the money is spent before the Dáil twice a year, in November and May. An auditor or auditors elected by the Dáil will be responsible for examining the detail of the accounts. No member of the Convention, TD, may be elected as an auditor. The fifth article. This is a provisional constitution and it can be altered if a notice of motion in writing is given to that effect 7 days beforehand. Head of Council, it is necessary for us to have 2 members to put these articles before the Dáil formally. I call on the representative from College Green, Dublin, Sean T. O'Seeley, to present the proposal. SEA with acute T. O'Seeley, A. Cheann Cumhail and representatives, I present these articles for your consideration. You know that this is a provisional constitution, you have all read it. All it contains is what is necessary for the moment. In the future, no doubt, we will have to add to it and include many items which relate to our work for Ireland. The final blow in the fight to establish a free state is being dealt, and we must create a constitution such as this to institute a just administration. Some people will say, perhaps, that there are omissions in the constitution. We are aware of that, but there is an admission in the 5th article that this is but a temporary measure and that any representative can, from time to time, make a proposal to make changes or improvements, as necessary. Everyone understands that there will be 5 ministers, a Premier Minister and 4 others who will have a duty to carry out the work and put any matter, which relates to their own area of responsibility before the Dáil and take full responsibility for all that relates to their duty of care. It is a source of regret to us that so many of our friends are removed from us here today, but it is not we who are to blame, but the enemy. We would like to have here the help and advice of all those friends, but we must continue to establish the Free State of Ireland, and to administrate the land as best we can. I propose, this constitution, and I am confident that you will give your consent to it as a provisional statute, temporary law, and I pray God that we are founding a free state of Ireland that will last forever. SEA with Acute Hayes, the representative for West Cork. I am very pleased to support the proposal which we have before us through the representative for College Green, Dublin. You have all read it and I hope that you will agree to it. Head Counsel E. Do you concur in agreement to this constitution? We concur. I say that the agreement is unanimous. 5. Narrative of Independence. Head of Council E. I ask you to arise and stand as I read the narrative of independence. Because it is in the nature of the people of Ireland to be a free nation. And because the people of Ireland have never ceased in 700 years from rejecting the tyranny of the English, and to refute it through force of arms. And because there is no foundation and never has been any foundation to English law in this country except through violence and fraud, supported only by the possession of an armed force in spite of the true will of the people of Ireland. And because the liberating army of the Free State of Ireland declared a Free State of Ireland in Dublin during Easter week, 1916 on behalf of the people of Ireland. And because the people of Ireland are conformed in achieving and defending full independence for themselves with the intention of advancing the good of the people, of re-establishing justice, assuring for themselves peace in Ireland and friendship with other nations, creating a national identity which will have the will of the people as its foundation, and because of that, equality of rights and justice as a result for everyone of Ireland. And because the people of Ireland, at the beginning of a new era in the world's history, made use of the election in December 1918 to affirm with an overwhelming majority that they put their faith in the Free State of Ireland. On account of that, we, that is the representatives elected by the people of Ireland, now consulting together in this convention, reaffirm the foundation of the Free State of Ireland in the name of the Irish nation, and we constrain ourselves to accomplishing it by every means we can. We decree that no one has the power, except for representatives elected by the people of Ireland, to make laws which induce the people of Ireland to abide by them, and that there is no parliament that the nation accepts except Dáil éireann. We affirm that we will no longer put up with the restrictions which English tyranny imposes on our national right, and we demand that the English encampments leave our land entirely. We ask each free nation in the world to recognize Ireland's independence, and we declare that our independence is necessary for the incorporation of peace in the world. In the name of the people of Ireland, we place our fate under the auspices of Almighty God, who gave our ancestors the courage and resolve to persevere earnestly for hundreds of years against a merciless and ruthless tyranny, and because our strength is all the more for justice being on our side in the struggle we inherited from them. We ask God to give us His blessing in the final struggles of the battle, which we are destined to continue until liberty can be reached. Head of Council E. I ask the representative from South Dublin to read the narrative for us in French. George Gavin Duffy, representative for South Dublin. Declaration of Independence. We, the elected representatives of the Irish people, brought together in National Assembly. Given that the people of Ireland are of right, a free people. Given that the people have never, in the course of 700 years, ceased to reject foreign usurpation and that it has frequently opposed it in arms. Given that the English government of this country is based today, as always in the past, on violence and fraud, and it is maintained by military occupation in spite of the declared will of the people. Given that the Irish Republic was proclaimed in Dublin on Easter Monday 1916, in the name of the Irish people by the Irish Republican Army. Given that the Irish people have the firm desire to attain complete independence and to maintain it for the common good of its citizens, to re-establish justice, to secure the defense of the country, to establish peace internally and ensure the friendship of all the nations, and to create a national constitution, which has at its core the will of the people, giving equal rights and opportunities to all its citizens. Given that, at the beginning of a new historic era, the electorate have seized their first opportunity, in the general elections of December 1918, to declare with an overwhelming majority their unswerving fidelity to the Irish Republic, we ratify, in the name of the Irish nation, the establishment of the Irish Republic, and we conjoin ourselves, we and our fellow citizens, to make this declaration work by all the means at our disposal. We declare that only representatives elected by the people of Ireland are capable of making suitable laws to govern the Irish people, and that the Irish National Assembly is the only body to which the people owe allegiance. We solemnly declare that the government of Ireland by a foreign power is a smear upon our national rights which we will never tolerate, and we demand the withdrawal of the English garrison from our country. We ask that our national independence be recognized and supported by all free nations of the world, and insist that independence is now an essential prerequisite for international peace. In the name of the Irish people, we humbly place our future in the hands of the Almighty who gave our forefathers the courage and immutable resolve, across long centuries of unremitting tyranny, and strengthened by the true justice of the cause which they have handed on to us. We ask a divine blessing on this the last stage of the struggle to which we are committed until freedom is attained. Head Counsel, I ask the representative of South Meath to read the narrative to us in the language of England. Edward Duggan, the representative of South Meath. This is the English translation of the Declaration of Independence. Declaration of Independence. Please see the copy of the minutes, which should agree in spirit with the two translations already provided here. Head of Council, representatives to the Convention. You will understand from what has been affirmed here that we are now separated from England. Let the world and those whom it concerns take notice. Whatever the outcome of what has been said here, be it peril or death, the time for idle talk in Ireland is finished. Every dog has its day, Mars maith is mithid, it's not before time. The time for blather is over. Representatives from the majority of the nations of the world are in Versailles and like us, their reason for being there, on their own admission, is to make peace for the people of the world so that there will be no further need for war ever again. We tell them now, and we say it loud, if they are serious, the link between this constituency and England must be broken. If it is not, there will be no peace. I ask you to have confidence in one another. Our work has God's blessing, that can be seen in the events of the last 2 years. 2 years ago from last Eastertide the Free State of Ireland was established. All we need do now is to stand in concert, praise and glory to God. Let us be united, let no one divide us and we will overcome. I ask the representative from East Kerry to commend the proposal. Peeves Beasley East Kerry, it's a great honour for me to be asked to support the affirmation of the Declaration of the Free State of Ireland. I was my fortune, and also that of some of you, to be present when the Free State was founded in Easter week 1916, and there were heroes brave at that time, those whose deeds matched their convictions. Those heroes are not alive today, the enemy killed them. But those brave men will be aware of today's events. Although it is a great pity that those heroes are not in our company here, it is clear that their spirit, each and every one are bound together with us in this convention, and with God's help, we will follow the example they gave us. The Declaration says we should advance the cause of the Free State in every way we can. That means action, and we will not rule out any course of action, regardless of the consequences, be it prison or bloodletting. The people of Ireland have placed their trust in us and us in them. Dáil éireann will do everything to achieve freedom and to bring the Declaration to fruition. Head of Council, I ask you to stand and to repeat the words of the following oath after me. We are at one with the Declaration of Independence and we swear to do everything in our power to make it a reality. This was done. 6 delegates to the Peace Conference. Head of Council, I ask the representative from Connemara to nominate 3 delegates to the Peace Conference. Pádraig O'Mahony, Head of Council and members of the Dáil, I am very proud to propose the names of 3 members as delegates from the Free State of Ireland to the Peace Conference. 1 Éamon de Valera, Head of the People of Ireland. 2 George Plunkett, our good friend who has been fighting Ireland's cause for a long time and who has suffered greatly at the hands of the English. 3 Arthur Griffith, a person who has been working for Ireland for over 20 years and who has guided the people of Ireland to stand with their native land, and to separate Ireland from England. Of the 3 nominated you can see that 2 of them are not present, they are in an English prison. But if the English have no respect for them, the opposite is the case with the Gaels. In my opinion, 3 more suitable candidates cannot be found to send to the peace conference in France. The people who have gathered there from the nations of the world pretend that they are eager to dispense liberty to all the nations of the world, big and small. Our delegates, however, will be able to say this much to them, that if freedom is not given to Ireland, Gaels will bring about their own liberty. There is an old saying in the Irish language, God helps those who will help themselves, and we fully intend to help ourselves in sending the English out of our country. Dr. James Ryan, the representative for South Wexford, I am very happy to commend this proposal now before the Dáil. The Dáil knows the three nominees very well, their names and reputations are known throughout the land, and I do not need to say anything to recommend them to you. Thanks be to God, all three are good health. George Plunkett is with us here, and with God's help it will not be long until Eamon de Valera and Arthur Griffith will be here too. Head of Council, do you all concur that the three named be delegates to the peace conference? We concur. That is agreed unanimously. 7. A message from Dáil éireann to the free nations of the world. Head of Council, we have decided to send a message from the Dáil to the free nations of the world, and I ask the representative from Louth to read it on our behalf. SEA with acute no Sile, the representative from Louth, it's an honor for me to read the message we have to the free nations of the world. Message from Dáil éireann to the free nations of the world. The nation of Ireland has declared its freedom. Its elected representatives have met in convention in the capital city of the country on the 21st of January, 1919. As a result, and to confirm the Free State of Ireland, she asks each free nation to recognize Ireland's nationhood and to admit of that nationhood in the presence of the Peace Conference. As far as nationhood is concerned, there are fundamental differences between Ireland and England in the realms of origin and language, attitudes, tradition, and history. Ireland is one of the most ancient nations in Europe, and the natural traits of her people are still intact in spite of English violence, which has been visited on her over 700 years. She has never repudiated her own natural nationhood, and never has a century gone past without her boldly asserting it, from the time of the English invasion up until the most recent occasion when she bravely took up the sword in 1916. In international terms, Ireland is the gateway to the Atlantic Ocean. Ireland is Europe's last defense in the West. She is the meeting point where trade routes meet from east and west. She must be independent to ensure the freedom of the seas. Her ports must be open to every nation instead of being controlled by England alone. Those ports have long been idle and empty, because it suits those who decide English policy to use Ireland as a defensive bulwark for the warlords of England and their empire. As a result, instead of Europe and America enjoying all the advantages and defensive opportunities available, because of the exclusion of our island, she is used to keep the world beholden to England alone. Ireland is reaffirming to the New World, which is freeing itself from the need for warfare, that she has an ancient nationhood. Her hope that her situation will be recognized is all the greater because she herself believes that justice and right are the foundation for the laws of nations. Peoples should help each other openly in the pursuit of justice against every advantage which derives from tyranny. The truth is that it is not through military coercion in sustaining an empire that peace in Europe will be established, but through the discipline of governments, created in each country by the free will of their peoples. It is clear that the eternal war between England and Ireland will never come to an end until English arms are removed permanently from the land of Ireland. In light of all this, and particularly because Sinn Féin, ourselves, is the catchword today, and, with freedom at hand if the promises are to be believed, Ireland will never submit to foreign domination. She therefore asks every free nation to be sympathetic to her demand for complete independence and a Gaelic free state. The English government has no right in Ireland. English power has always been founded upon fraud, and it cannot be established nor maintained without the intervention of a huge army. So now, Ireland wishes to stand in the presence of England at the Convention of Nations so that the whole world can see how the situation between them really is, so that the world can make a judgment on the injustice which England perpetuates, how Ireland deserves justice, and to ask that whatever help that the people of Ireland require be given them to achieve their freedom in God's name. My translation of the message to the free nations of the world can be checked against the text on page 20 of the official record of the minutes.